Right, this is a tricky one, and it's the reason I didn't make a video yesterday, because this video just hasn't gained any traction. I can't get it. What I normally do for a video is have an idea where I'm going, and I have little points, normally 3, could be more, because I will go off and waffle. But I normally have 3 points I vaguely want to cover, and then I can be comfortable that I can go to the first point. You can remember 1 point, then the second you can remember, and you can remember 3 points, and there's enough information to fill in on the way. And sometimes I realise what the 3 points are and move them around because that one links better than with that one, and it flows better, whatever it might be. But this one, it's about pensions, because I watched a couple of videos, American, on pensions and how the American people haven't got any. And I kind of knew that the UK people didn't have any. And I watched these and I thought, I didn't know what to think. That's the thing. They seemed perfectly nice people that didn't have the first clue about money. Not the money that I talk about normally, but I think the thing is that there seems to be some sort of a taboo about talking about, and therefore thinking about, money, as in pensions, saving, because maybe if you do, you're considered tight or got your priorities wrong or ruthless or something. I don't know. But the people in the videos didn't seem to have a clue. You know, they were talking about, in American, they were talking about the 401k, and in the UK or other places, you know, it's this defined benefit and defined contribution thing. See, I thought I could wing this. I know where I've got my last post in, but I think that the problem is so diverse and involves absolutely everybody that it's very hard, because to talk about things, obviously you've got to put people in boxes and talk about them as though they were a group of people, because if you don't, you've got the problem I've got now, which is talking about pensions, which involves absolutely everybody. And it's very difficult, because to talk about absolutely everybody just doesn't come very well, because you need examples to say that people have got a taboo, won't talk about it, and don't do this pension saving properly. Obviously doesn't cover everybody. So let's go to the first chart that really got me in one of the videos, and it was American, and over on this side it was $300,000 that people had saved up, and the percentage of people had that, and then going to the percentage of people that had nothing saved up, which was obviously the biggest one, that had up to $10,000. It was 10,000, we'll just call it 10,000 saved up, was the next biggest. In other words, they had nothing. And the thing that got me about the whole chart was not so much as the person presenting it was saying, look at all these people over here, they've saved nothing. It was this number 300,000, as though that was saved something. Now I want to talk about people saving, because I think my trouble is I watched a video, you know, doing this YouTube, and you look down the side and you say, oh, that might be interesting. You look at another video, and this was about millennials. Are they stuffed as a group of people? And it was a good argument. Well, as discussions go, American, It wasn't bad. I think it was really only very good because there was a dark lady representing one side, and she was very attractive. I think she was mainly very attractive because she was very attractive, but she seemed very intelligent as well, which is very attractive. Anyway, sidetracked. And I started thinking about millennials, and the one saying, the millennials saying that no, we're all right because we're so optimistic and we're all together and go-getting and green, and we don't go in for buying things, we go in for spending money on experiences. And I go, oh, for fuck's sake. And I've got a thing about holidays. And it's not fair for me to say it because I haven't. You see, this is another point. I was thinking, I had a way of doing this video which was kind of an autobiographical thing about me and how I got to retire early by how I did it. That's okay, I'll do that. Because in my scrabbling to get this video together, things have come to mind that I could make as my points. And this is not a bad one. Saving, because advice has got to be given. Otherwise it'd be just a useless video. Just total waffle. 2 things have to be done during a life to save for a pension or get some money together for a pension, or the whole pension retiring thing. See them as 2 things going this way, or let's go do them vertical because it's easy for my hands. You've got to save your money. You've got to save up or you won't have it saved up at the end. But I think most people can just about get that. And then you've got to do this as well. As in, this is your outgoings. You've got to keep an eye on your pension and realistically evaluate how you're doing. And when you're young, down here, this is young and this is old. When you're young, there's another thing. Okay, my nephew, nice lad, bought one of these new cars on, just a little one, on this new thing where you rent it. And him and his girlfriend went on holiday to Iceland a couple of months ago. Anyway, okay, those 2 things. For example, down here, just coming into the world of work. If you have a brand new car when you're 21, when are you going to stop having a brand new car? All the way up here. When are you going to say, no, I'll give that up now? You've got it into your mind that you can have a brand new car. When are you going to stop? In other words, you're on a road that will, unless a lot of thought's been given or something comes and knocks you off the road, that you're going to have a brand new car all your life. And you're going to do things like going on holiday to Iceland. Good on them for not just him and his girlfriend going to Spain or something like they normally do. So you've got to save. But you've also got to bring your young spending habits down. So somewhere along the line, at here, up in my hat, is retirement age, where the 2 will meet happily. You've got to get your spending down. This is more important, maybe even than this. There are a lot of problems I see that quite a lot of this has been done, but this has been done. So you can get to your retirement with savings, but there's this gap still because you haven't got your savings down. And this is just going to cause misery. You're going to have quite a lot of money up here because you have saved it. But this gap, because you absolutely have to when you retire, make these 2 things meet. This will cause misery because you're just not used to it. You've gone all your life up this way, and you've now got to cut your cloth over here. And although you've got quite a lot of money compared to other people who haven't saved up, you're miserable because you've been forced into spending less. You haven't got your head together. It takes a whole lifetime to get your head together. Just like it takes a whole lifetime to get your savings together. Okay, where are we going to go with this? Go back to the 300,000 people. 300,000. As I said, I was just looking at that figure going, that's not enough. That's not enough. And I bumped into this same figure this morning on The Guardian, who were having this horrible thing about, it doesn't matter what it was about, but the same number came up. So I think I'll have it as my ending of this. And the reason that it hasn't been a great big pension video is because the subject is so monstrously huge, and all I can do is say a little something about it that might be interesting or helpful. Let's say you get to 300,000 at retirement age. 300,000. And the really rich people, I think these people were looking very happy. They had pictures of people standing there. 300,000. Say you get, like these pension funds say they want to get each year 8%. So you get 3 8 to 24. You get 24,000 a year. So that's whatever, euros, pounds or dollars, whatever. You're talking 24,000 a year, which is 2,000 a month, which is, it's not bad. It's not bad, but you've got to admit it's not absolutely fantastic because life is going to be expensive because governments are going to come off after you anyway and try and get what they can out of you. So if you think, well, it's one of these, it could be absolutely brilliant, or it could be very disappointing, or it could be an absolute disaster, even with 300,000, depending how you've got your spending together. But do you really think you're going to get 8%? Absolutely not, because that's funds investing in wild things. Some of them win, some of them lose, and they're not even getting 8%. I mean, okay, let's put it down to 4%. So you've got 12,000, 1,000 a year, 1,000 a month, sorry, 12,000 a year, 1,000 a month. Is the 1,000 a month now going to be about right? 1,000 a month, I would think for most peoples, is getting a bit short, isn't it? And that's at 4%. If you can get 2% now, you're not doing too badly. A solid 2% in a completely safe account, as in not any risk investment. If you can get 2%, that's all right. So I think we've gone 8, 4, 2. We've done 2,000, 1,000. We must be at 500 a month on your 300,000. Now, how's your 300,000 looking on 500 a month? 500 a month from your 300,000. Okay. And where I realised that to make this video worthwhile is to say that a lot of people do actually think about money. So, what do you do with your 300,000? How about buying a house with it? How much rent are you going to get from a house of 300,000? Okay, so, and how much would it be even if you're going to overpay for the house? Do you know what I mean? You're going to overbid so you can get that, so you can get the rent in. You're going to bid up the price of housing. Now, there are people that will look at their trajectories earlier and say, when they're even at, let's say, 150,000, they've already saved 150,000, and look at it and go, interest rates, calculate. How about I put 150,000 into a house now and use the rent and my new savings to pay off the mortgage for the other 150,000. And then when I come to retirement, I should be well ahead of the game. That seems to work as an idea. Now there are people that get to 50,000 and go, well, what if I put this 50,000 in as a deposit on a house, and I'll put my savings into the house, the rent can pay the mortgage off, or I can save on the side. I could maybe even buy another house, because the rent will pay that one off and my savings can maybe pay another one off. I could get 2 houses. So when I trajectory up to, I could either sell them as capital or keep renting them out for, how much do you get for a 300,000 house? How much do you get for 300,000 houses? Let's leave it there. A lot of people have actually thrown off this taboo about not thinking about and speaking about money. A lot of people have thought about it and spoken about it, and have decided, among other things, that buying houses is a quite good way of saving for a pension. Now, this might be nothing new to you, but it looks like it is something new to quite a lot of people that I've been looking at on YouTube's, and they might soon realise what you have realised earlier. Because they better realise something very quickly, otherwise they're just going to be miles apart when they come to the end of their working life. That is to say, they're never going to come to the end of their working life. Bye.